Welcome to Charting the Day. I show you how I make money trading stock options, and I'm showing you how you're going to be able to paper trade both futures and options. So the first thing you're going to do, this is specifically for Webull. Look at the very bottom. It says watch list with a heart, market with a planet, has the center button, which is the Webull sign or their logo, feeds with a little messaging icon, and then it says menu with the 4 bubbles above it. So once you click on markets, every time you click on markets, it will automatically refresh the screen, which is also very cool. The next thing you want to do is look at the very top. So once you're on the markets page and it's lit up blue and that planet starts to move, look at the very top. We have 2 rows, stocks, ETFs, options, futures, learn, which is an amazing tool to use. Make sure you guys use this tool to learn things if you want to be able to learn about futures, options, in the stock market in general. Then you have MMF, bonds, cash management, robo, and paper trade. So of course we're going to click on paper trade. Here we have stocks and options, and you can flick at the top to go to futures. I placed a trade about an hour ago just to get the ball rolling, see some numbers so I can explain it to you guys. So the first thing you're going to notice is net account value. What this means is that you can actually change the amount of your account. I always recommend you change it to how much ever you want to trade with. Let's just say you're going to start with $2,000. So let's press confirm. It's going to ask you, are you sure? Because every time you reset it, it is going to delete every single trade you've ever taken on paper trading. And so you won't be able to see any of the options or any stock trading that you've done if you decide to press reset. Of course, this is on the paper trading side, but even if you're trying to keep a record of the things that you've been paper trading, because people do things like that all the time to do challenges to grow their account, their paper trading account, and things of that nature. It doesn't matter what you're trying to track, but it's very common to use it at some point in your journey to do that. Do not change your net account value because all your positions will be erased. But I'm going to confirm it just so you can see the number change from 3,000 to 2,000. Our open P&L is going to be 0 because we have nothing open right now. However, on the future side, our open P&L we can see it as negative $6.25, and we're down $7.70 on the full day. So so basically, here is where you're going to see your positions and you're going to see your open orders. None of that really matters. The main thing you want to do is change your account value to how much you plan to actually trade with. And then at the very bottom, you'll see buying power and you'll see a big orange button that says paper trade. Never click this button. If it doesn't say paper trade, that means you're real trading. So always double check that the button says paper trade. Okay. It'll also say paper trade at the top really soon. So now you're going to pick your stock. It's going to take you right to it. So you don't have to go and try to figure out anything. You change your account net value or your net account value, click on paper trade. It'll take you directly to the symbols and the tickers. And the best thing is the ones that you search and that you use really often will pop up here on the bottom. SPY is my first one because I trade SPY every day. And so you want to click on it. Then the next thing you want to do is next to chart, you want to click on the button that says options. From here, all you need to do is click on the button that says one of the buttons in the ask column that are not blue. So that is the top right and the bottom left, because the other columns and the other positions are all blue, which are not what we're trying to enter into. Okay, you only trade with the top right and the bottom left because those are white-ish, grayish background. Now you are only going to click in the ask column. Let's just say we're going to take this 103 ask right at the money. So the center line is the strike line. So basically that's what the price actually is at. So it's at 601.30 right now. And so the first at the money is 601. And the first at the money for the calls is 602. Okay, so 601 is the puts. 602 is our calls. So let's just say we want to take a call. We're going to click on the 0.77, right? and it's going to take you to this screen. So you can click on the 0.77 or the 0.42 or the 0.21. I personally have 6 strikes. We're going to look at the bottom. Okay, so the bottom says single options, both, and then it has a little gear signal. At the top, you can see strikes. This is going to show you how many different asks that is going to give you. Gives you different strike prices to enter at. However, for my specific strategy, I always enter at the money. So I genuinely choose the lowest strikes that are available. If it only gave me the at the money strikes, I would have it on that setting, but it doesn't have that. So and you also want to make sure you're in straddle view, because that is the easiest way to trade. And it lowers your slippage as well. So now that we are in, slippage is basically like the time between it takes you to enter a trade and to exit the trade. So you may exit a trade at $70 profit, but only get $63 or something like that because of slippage. So you want to make sure that you're moving through the app with the quickness as much as you can and having it on settings that are helpful and you can see everything at one time, because you don't want to increase slippage that's already naturally going to be there. So let's say we click on the at the money for 0.77, and it's going to take us here. In the top right corner, we see Turbo Trader and we see Classic. I love Turbo Trader. I switched to it and I've never switched back, and I don't plan on it. It is amazing. I love it so much, and I always make sure that this little chart is down. It's the little arrow right underneath Turbo Trader all the way to the right. I always make sure that it is down. It's right here. Okay, always make sure it's down, because I look at trading view for my charts, not the actual, not this, okay? So the next thing you're going to do is edit your gears again for your quantity. This is for your contracts. I normally start with 1 contract. When I'm ready to scale up, I'll either add by 2s, 5s, or 10s. And then that's why I have these 4 numbers here. That's just what I like. Do whatever you want to do. You can have 1, 2, 3, 4. You can have a lot. You can have up to 8 quantities, but I like having just these 4. And the reason why I don't have all 8, even if I were to have them, is because let's just look at it, right? Let's just add in some numbers. Let's just add in some numbers here. You actually have to slide it. So again, that increases your slippage, because now you have another thing you have to do. And I just like having everything directly on the screen. It's just a pet peeve to have tons of things you have to move around. And on the classic version, you have to move around a lot of things. And I really just hate it. Like, oh, look at this. You have to change it to market every single time. You have to add contracts manually. I really don't like it. Okay, so I always keep it on Turbo Trader. It is my favorite. I can literally come in. I always click at the money, right? So I'm clicking that 0.77, clicking 1, clicking buy. Super quick, super easy. You can place a trade extremely fast. So market is actually closed, so I'm going to cancel it. Yeah, so that's basically what I do and what my settings are on my account as far as my options. So then if we go over to the future side, we can click on the position we currently have. It's going to show you open orders when it's filling. And then when it gets filled and it starts to move and your P&L actually is active, it's going to move up to the My Position section. So that's why we have nothing down here in open orders. So you're going to click. Actually, let me just do this really quick, because just ignore what I'm doing. And let me show you something really quick. Okay, see if it'll catch it. Yes, so now we have something in our open orders because we just placed it. And then once it gets filled, it's going to move up to My Positions. And I just basically closed out what I just had open. Okay, so it's putting it as a different order and it's selling it out. Okay, so let's do that again. Let's click paper trade. Let's go to SPY. Oh, wait, let's go to the SPY equivalent for the mini e-futures. Let's click on paper trade. Right, so here you don't have to click anything. You don't have to click options. You don't have to click anything at the top. You just literally click on the actual like month that you want to trade. So I'm trading March 25th or March 2025. And then you just want to click paper trade. You don't have to click future button or option button or anything like that. Okay. Now, for the quantity, you have to put 1. You have to type it in, or you have to press the plus button. Now, because in futures, most people aren't placing more than 1 because they're very expensive, or they're only placing 2 or 3 or 4. All right, so especially for retail traders. So that's why this is here. It doesn't have the same setting as it does on the option side, where you can actually use the buttons that tells you everything. Okay, for me, for me, I just click the button on the side and I press buy. Okay, the market's actually open right now, so I'm gonna see what it does. Let's see if it moves at all. Just refresh it. It probably won't. But yeah, so basically it pops up in the bottom. It says 1 at 698.25. The 1 is going to be a positive 1 if you're buying in a call direction, which is basically your longs. And then the 1 will show up as a negative 1. It's like this. Oops. Yeah, so it'll show up as a negative 1 if you're in puts, which is technically, period. Let's go ahead and press the buy button to get out of that puts and take our $1.25 profit. But yeah, that's basically what you do. And so it's very different from the option side, because on the option side, to close out of a trade, let's just see if it'll even let me do it since market is closed. The futures market is open, but this isn't. So when you're closing out a trade, you actually have to press close. But when you're closing out of a futures trade, you press the opposite button to what you press, which is why I'm telling you, it'll show as a positive 1 if you're in calls, and it'll show as a negative 1 if you're in puts, because you're not going to know what you're in at all unless you look at that number. Okay, so you press, let's just say you do 2, you buy it. You're not going to press the sell button, right? You're going to press the close or the cancel button. Okay, now as for your futures, let's go back here. You're going to choose March, and then let's just say you're going to buy in the call position, and then you decide, oh my gosh, I'm up, right? Because the 1 is positive. So you can say, oh my gosh, I'm up. Oh my gosh, I'm up. I want to take my $1,000 billion trillion profit. Oh, it's negative. But let's just say it's positive and you want to get out, right? You're not going to click you don't have to click the close button. I mean, you can. But then you have to press a confirmation, okay? The easiest way to do it is just to press sell market button, and then it closes you out the trade, as you'll see. It'll close us out the trade. See? Just like that. And then if you want to do the opposite, we still have 1 in the box up here, okay? You press sell market, which will put you in a puts position, which you can see at the bottom. It's -1, so that means we're in puts. And then let's just say we want to get out of this. You're not going to press close because it's going to give you a confirmation, and we want to get out of our trades quickly. You want to press buy, right? So you're just pressing the opposite to get out, and it'll close it out for you. So that's basically how it works. And I hope this video was very, very helpful for you to be able to start a paper trade and see all my settings and all the things that are that make it super easy to paper trade with stock options and futures.